So the problem before us we have 2 points or 2 coordinate pairs, and I want to find out the slope between those 2 pairs. So I have A and a B. My first A, I have the point -3 and -1, and the other coordinate pair are the point -2 and 4. For your benefit, I graph those down to have an idea what they look like. I have the point -3, -1, and the point -2 and 4. And likewise, I have for the second example coming on up. So for this first example, how do we determine its slope? Well, if you remember, slope, and what I forgot to mention before is that a lot of people use this variable m to represent slope. So slope, and that equals my change in my y over my changes in my x's. So let's just choose one of these first points here, and let's describe this one as my x1, y1, x2, and y2. Many students ask me, well, does it matter which one I choose? Can this second pair of points be my x1s and y1s, and this first one be my y2s and x2s? Yes, absolutely. It doesn't matter. So if you do either one, you're both going to head into the correct direction. So y2 is that 4 is how I designate it. 4 minus my y1. Now notice my y1 is a -1. So I want to make sure that I keep that negative involved. x2 is a -2 minus my x1, which is a -3. And now from there, I just crunch it through my brain. 4 take away -1 gives me a 5. And then on the bottom, I have a 2. Take away -3 becomes a 1. So the slope for this first one I have is a slope of 5. Second example I have over here, -3 and 4 and 2 and 2. What's the slope or the steepness between those 2 points? I have the steepness. It doesn't look as steep as the first one. And what else do you notice about its steepness? It looks like maybe this one's going down left to right, whereas suppose this one was going up left to right. So I wonder if that matters, or wonder if that's important in some type of a way. All right, our slope equals our changes in our y's. I'm going to switch these two around. Why not? Let's make this first one my x2 point, y2, and make this my x1, y1. And those 1s and 2s, all they are there is to separate. This is my second set of points. This is my first set of points. On the previous example, the x1, y1s, they just separated that. This was one pair of points separated from a separate pair of points. Those 1 and 2s are only for descriptions. So y2 minus y1, I have a 4. Take away a -2. x2, I have a -3. Take away a 2. That equals 6 over a -5. So I have a slope of -6/5. Notice that I have a negative slope here. And that shows up in this graph by the graph descending from left to right. The slope extends out in a negative direction. Over here, I have a positive slope. And then the value I have is 6/5, which tells me it's not as steep. It's not that steep of a slope as well. So that's how we can find slope given 2 points.